Hello, I am Professor Kalpesh Patel, Electrical Engineering Department from the Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Technical Education and Research Center, Navsari. Our subject is Power Electronics and our subject code is 3140915 of the BE third year 5th SEMS. These are the flow of contents from which in previous lecture we completed the first two device, diode and BJT, and now we will continue from the MOSFET. So power MOSFET, this is the basic structure of the power MOSFET. It has the three terminals: source, drain and gate. So it is a three terminal device. P substance act as a gate, these N plus act as a source, and these N plus act as a drain. If suppose gate is open circuited, that means VGS is not applied. If VDD connected to the drains and minus of the VDD connected to the source. If we not applied VGS, then this region N plus to P, it is in reverse bias condition. That means no current will be flow from drain to N plus to P substance. So it is turn off conditions. When we applied the gate signals, the electrostatic field will be appear here. This is the plus and this is minus. So because of the electrostatic field, it inject the electrons in P substance. So now current will start from flow from drain to P to N plus to source. So when VGS is applied between gate and source, the collector current, drain current will flow from drain to source. And this is the symbolic representation of the MOSFET: drain, source and gate. So the basic feature of the power MOSFET, it is a three terminal device. Its name is drain, source and gate. It is the voltage control device and its input impedance is very high, in order of mega ohms. So it is used in low power and high frequency converters like SMPS inverters. Basic structure of N-channel power MOSFET. This is the feature of power MOSFET, but it is a single channel. If we have to increase the current capacity, we have to connect the more number of power MOSFET in parallel. So power MOSFET is the thousands of single MOSFET cell are connected in single silicon dioxide chip. So here it is the two cells basics connected in parallel. So it is one and this is seconds. So there are two paths available: flow the currents from drain to source. One path is this and one path is this. So it increases the current capacity of the MOSFET. Other the construction of power MOSFET are remain same. Now the transfer characteristics of the MOSFET. To draw the transfer characteristics of the MOSFET, we have to connect the MOSFET in this manner. Drain is connected with the positive of the battery with respect to source, and gate is connected with the positive of VGE with respect to source. If we not applied gate voltage VGE, so device is in turning off conditions, so no drain current will be flow. As we increasing the VGE voltage from 0 to positive value, at some voltage level drain current start to flow. So this voltage level is this point. So it is the VGST, gate source threshold voltage, which is required to turn on the device. So it is about the 3 volts. So when gate voltage reach at 3 volt VGS, the drain current start to flow from drain to source. So VGST, it is the threshold gate source voltage which is required to turn on the device. Now output characteristics. To draw the output characteristics, we have to connect the MOSFET in same manner as we explained above before. So if we applied some voltage VGS1 between gate and source, the drain current, this amount of drain current will be flow. If we increasing the drain gate source voltage from VGS1 to VGS2, drain current will increase at this point. At VGS3, it is this value. So at this point, it is fully turned on. So this region is known as the ohmic region, in which the device is fully on conditions, while it is the active region in which the drain current depend on the gate source voltage, and this it is the cutoff region in which the VGS is less than the VGST threshold voltage. So device in turn off condition. So in this region no drain current will be flow, and this is the whatever the current flowing in cutoff region, it is known as the leakage currents. So that's why MOSFET is known as the voltage control device, because the drain current is depend on the magnitude of the gate source voltage. Now the switching characteristics of the MOSFET. To turn on the MOSFET, we applied the positive gate pulse between gate and source. So this is the positive gate pulse applied for the T1 times. So when we applied the positive gate signals, but initially no full voltage V1 is appear across the VGS. It's linearly increasing from this point to this point. So it take time to reach at V1 value. When the gate value start to increasing from 0 to VGST, which is the voltage required to turn on the MOSFET. So gate voltage reach at this point, the drain current start to flow, and drain current reach at final value, this point extend at this value, this point is known as the VGSP. So the from VGST to VGSP time required by the device, it is known as the TR, rise time, and before time to required T rising the drain current from 0 to start the conducting drain current, it is known as the TDN, turn on delay time. So total time required to turn on the device is equal to T on. It is the summation of the TDN plus TR. If we now remove the gate signal after T1 time, so the gate source voltage start to reducing. When this voltage reach at this point, so below VGST, device will fully turn off. From when the gate source voltage reach at VGSP, drain current start to reducing and become 0 at the gate source voltage below the VGST. So this time is known as the TDF, turn of delay time, and this time is known as the fall time. So total turn of time required to turn off the device is the summation of the TDF plus TF. So at this point device is fully turned off, and this point device is fully turned on. Now comparison between BJT and MOSFET. It is bipolar device, bipolar junction transistor. Bipolar, that means the current flow due to the movement of the both holes and electrons, while in MOSFET it is unipolar device, that means current is flowing only depend on the either the holes or electrons depending upon the construction of the MOSFET, like it is the N channel MOSFET or a P channel MOSFETs. The input impedance of the BJT is low. It is in the range of kilo ohms. Because of low input impedance, it takes the current from the gate signal is high. That's why its switching loss is high, but the conduction loss is very low. But in MOSFET, its input impedance is high. It is in the range of mega ohms. So current taken from the gate signal is very low. That's why it is lower switching losses. But the on-state resistance is high. So it is in on-state it has high conduction loss. So BJT has low switching loss. BJT has high switching loss and low conduction loss, while MOSFET has low switching loss and high conduction loss. Fourth one is a BJT is current control device, because the collector current is depend on the magnitude of the base currents, while MOSFET is a voltage control device because the drain current is depend upon the magnitude of the gate voltage. BJT has the negative temperature coefficient, that means as the temperature is increasing, the resistance of the device is decreasing, while the MOSFET is a positive temperature coefficient because the resistance is increasing with increasing in the temperature. There may be chances of second breakdown occur in BJT, while there is no chance in second breakdown does not occur in MOSFET. The available rating of the BJT is 1200 volt to 800 ampere, and MOSFET available rating 500 volt to 140 amperes. Now IGBT, insulated gate bipolar transistors. As I explained before, the high switching loss in BJT and low conduction loss in BJT, while the low switching loss in MOSFET and high conduction loss. So it is the BJT is suffer from high switching loss and MOSFET is suffer from the high conduction loss. So this problem is solved by the IGBT. IGBT is the combination of the BJT and MOSFETs. So it solves the problem of high switching loss of BJT and high conduction loss of the MOSFET. So it has high input impedance and low on-state power loss as in BJT. Its other name is MOSIGT, metal oxide insulated gate transistor. Second, COMFET, conductively modulated field effect transistors. GEMFET, gain modulated field effect transistors. IGT, insulated gate transistor. So this is the basic structure of the IGBT. This is the P plus layer, N minus and P. This junction is known as the J1 junction. This is J2 junctions. This base body is known as the collector terminal, and this two metal body is emitter. In between gate is connected. So this layer is known as the injection layer. injection layer, which inject the hole into the n minus layer. Hole is injected in n minus layer from the P, and this region is known as the drift regions. The on state resistance offered by the device, which is offered by these regions. So gate signal is connected between gate and emitter, and load is connected between collector and emitter from VCC. Equivalent circuit of IGBT. As we explained, the IGBT is consist of gate circuit is consist of MOSFET, while collector circuit is consist of the BJT, and gate circuit is consist of MOSFET. So it is gate circuit symbol like MOSFET, and the collector emitter is like BJT. So its symbolic representation is gate, collector and emitter. Gate is taken from the MOSFET and collector emitter is taken from the BJT. So from this, if we solve this structure, here we get the one transistor Q2 and one transistor Q1. So it is N plus P and N. It is transistor. So this is here, and this Q1 transistor is here. Now we connect the collector with positive and emitter with negative. So this is the P and P. So device Q1 is turn off condition, because this junction J1 is forward bias, but this junction is reverse bias, though no current will be flow from collector to emitters. And this is the resistance RD, which is offered by the N minus layer. So this junction J1 is forward bias condition, that means current is flowing from this to this, but no gate signal is applied, so no current will be flow from drain to source. If we applied gate signal positive, the MOSFET is turned on, and now current flow from drain to source to emitter. So this Q1 is turned on because of the base current. So now current will start flow from collector to emitter. As this current is increasing, the voltage drop across the RBY, which is offered by the P regions, is increasing. When this voltage across the RBY increased to 0.7 volt, which is required voltage to turn on the transistor. So this voltage across the RBY increased to 0.7 volt, the transistor Q2 will turn on, as the its base P2N is increased to 0.7 volts. So the now current will start from collector to Q2 to emitter. So at this time, when positive gate is applied, in this manner the device is turned on. Now the VI characteristic of the IGBT. To draw the VI characteristic of the IGBT, we have to connect IGBT in this manner. Collector is connected to the positive of the VCC with respect to emitter. In between, one load R is connected, and gate is connected with the positive with respect to the emitter. If we not applied any gate signal between gate and emitter, no collector current will flow from no collector to emitter. So device in turn off condition. As we applied the voltage, gate voltage, the device is turned on and start the collector current flow. So it's suppose we applied the VGE 1 for this particular gate voltage. this particular collector current will flow. If we increasing this voltage from VGE1 to VGE2, collector current will also increase. At VGE3 it is this, so that's why it is also voltage control device, because the collector current is depend on the gate voltage. So B is the static characteristics of the IGBT, and here is C, it is the transfer characteristic. So transfer characteristic is same as the MOSFET, and static characteristic is same as the BJT. Now switching characteristic of the IGBT. If we not applied any gate signal between gate and emitter, no collector current will flow. Now whatever the collector current is flowing, ICE is known as the leakage current, and its magnitude is very small. When VGE start to increasing and reach at VGET, which is the gate emitter voltage required to turn on the device. So from this point gate is applied. At this point gate is applied, so time required to reach the collector current from this leakage current to 0.1 value, this time is known as the TDN, turn on delay time. And collector current increase from 0.1 to 0.9, 0.1 to IC value, its maximum value. This time on known as the TR, rise time. So total time required to turn on the device is T on. It is the summation of TDN plus TR. If we remove the gate signal, the gate voltage start reducing, but not collector current is decreasing, because when the gate voltage is reach at VGST, then and then only the collector current start to reducing, because which is the enough voltage to keep the device turned on. So when the gate voltage decreasing from VGET, the collector current start to reducing. So if we remove the gate signal and the gate voltage reach at VGT, this time is known as the TDF, turn off delay time, and at this point collector current start to reducing and reach at the 0.2 IC, it is the time known as the TF1, and 0.2 to 0.1 it is the TF2. So total time required to turn off the device is the summation of TDF, TF1 and TF2. So device is turned on, that means fully collector current will be flow. So the voltage across the collector and emitter is 0. When device is off, fully voltage appear across the collector and emitter, which is the applied voltage VCC. Application of IGBT. It is used in DC and AC motor drives, UPS system, power supplies, drive for solenoids, relay and contact. Now comparison between BJT, IGBT and MOSFET. MOSFET has 3 terminal, gate, source and drain. Also IGBT has the 3 terminals, gate, emitter and collectors. Input impedance of the MOSFET is high. Also in IGBT, input impedance is high. MOSFET is a voltage control device. Also IGBT is voltage control device. Rating available up to 500 volt and 140 ampere, while in IGBT up to the 1200 volt and 500 ampere. Operating frequency of MOSFET up to 1 MHz, while the operating frequency of the IGBT up to the 50 kHz. G2 questions. Explain SCR or a thyristor and its operations. SCR and thyristor both are the same. Second one is draw and explain the IV characteristics of the IGBT. Third one is draw and explain IV characteristics of the MOSFET, and last to explain the two transistor topology of SCR. Now we will continue from the next lecture remaining topics. Thank you.